Well, the Niners had to do it. They said, you know what? Our team is not injury-prone enough. We want kind of the king of injuries, as of late at least. I mean, they're literally J.J. Watt away from having the injury dream team. They wanted Christian McCaffrey, a guy who, when he's on the field, is one of the best. But the problem is, he can't stay on the field. Of course, I hear a whole bunch of things that, Panthers fans saying, well, it's the way the Panthers use him. That's why he's getting injured. I don't know if they're going to put Christian McCaffrey in the slot, but if they're going to run him like they run their running backs, I don't know how he stays healthy. Of course, just the injury-prone, glory, Hall of Glory here. Obviously, you have your guys that are expected to play well and have been playing well. Guys like Trent Williams. Debo's been okay. Kittle, I'm talking about injury-prone Hall of Fame here. Of course, Ayuk has had some games, and Jimmy Garoppolo, he's Jimmy Garoppolo, right? You're not going to get the guy that's going to play hero ball and win you the game, but usually you're going to get a guy that's going to give you just enough to win if the defense holds like they do. Obviously, we're going to have to replace the interior. And then defensively, you got Fred Warner's playing well. Nick Bosa's playing outstandingly. Eric Armstead, I'm pretty sure, has played really badly this season. And then safeties, Hufanga has been great. Jimmy Ward, when healthy, speaking of another guy, he's great. So you've got some names that you definitely need to replace. And there's obviously some names that are going to be here for the long haul. I also think Charvarius Ward has had himself a pretty good season so far, which is good because cornerback is always one of the toughest things to look for in a Niners rebuild. They always have good play from their corners. They just don't have, long-lasting play, Like, what am I supposed to do long-term with Verrett? What am I supposed to do with, I suppose Ambry Thomas is a little bit different because he's young, but, what am I supposed to do with some of these guys that are, 78, 79 overall, but they're, 27, 28? There's nothing I could do about that, right? But this is a team that is ultra dynamic. You have a wide receiver that's basically a running back. You have a running back that's basically a wide receiver. Juszczyk is kind of like a tight end. Kittle, he's George Kittle. What can I tell you? You have a really insane left tackle. I moved his age down to 31 because the way he's playing in real life, as usual, he's playing really well. And the contract he signed is unlikely to retire him next season. But in Madden Sim, he literally always retires the following year, so we decided to change that. But yeah, there's some positions to replace, but surprisingly enough, this Niners team, even though they've had some weird games and some weird losses, they're still 3-3 and are very much so in it. Also, something people aren't mentioning, even though the trade compensation was pretty good for Carolina, to be honest, they have a bunch of late third-round draft picks due to losing 3 minority coaches. I seen some joke saying infinite money glitch, which is kind of funny because, that is a lot of draft picks. 6 draft picks for coaches. That's insane. I'm not sure how I'm going to work that in here, but we'll try, I guess. Maybe I'll actually try to do something now. It's not really much I can do. I feel like the best bet would be just to trade for 2 mid-round, mid-second round picks and then trade those down for third rounds or something, because I don't know how else I'm going to do it, to be honest. That is a mad L, but here we are taking the mad L. So we have $37 million. Jason Verrett can't stay healthier than, a couple of games in. Mosley's also an injured guy. Jimmy Garoppolo at this point, I think, knows his value, and I don't know if this team can afford him after, adding another really expensive player like Christian McCaffrey. I would like to keep Jimmy Ward, but a 3-year 31 at the age of 31 is kind of pushing it. I do a 2-year 21, and he actually chooses to stay, which is pretty sick, actually. McGlinchey, I don't really feel like, replacing a tackle, believe it or not, so I'm going to go with a 3-year 25, which is actually not bad tackle value for us. And then Robbie Gould might just retire, so I'd probably wait on that. And everyone else, the punter even, might be on their way out, as a lot of these contracts are just a little out of our range, especially for the value that they bring to the team. Well, we're asking for a miracle. I think we need a win and 2 losses from the rest of the division to make it in, and we did not. So we finished the season 8-9. Glad that we, this team traded for Christian McCaffrey, because clearly it was totally worth it, am I right? Of course, it doesn't really matter because At the end of the day, is Jimmy Garoppolo the guy? Probably not. Is Trey Lance the guy? I don't know either, but with the amount of capital they gave for him, it'd be nice to actually see him finish a season to see exactly what they're working with. Jimmy Garoppolo, not a bad season, but once again, that's all I can say. As far as rushing goes, Christian McCaffrey, 1,300 yards, 15 touchdowns, 4.9 yards per carry. Debo is pretty good. He also had the 300 yards rushing that I seen a second ago. The numbers in the Niners scheme are really bad. I don't know if we have to change. Nice, good job by Nick Bosa. Eric Armstead, not bad either. But I don't know if we have to change the playbook. It's a very unique playbook where you can get your wide receiver one playing, in the backfield as a running back one a lot. So I don't want to change it until I absolutely have to. So we're going to see what happens with Trey Lance at least before we do anything. But I have a feeling that this Niners team isn't going to win with this playbook. So we may have to change it. The Packers beat the Bills by 3 in the Super Bowl. I mean, before this season started, it wouldn't be the worst call in the world. I mean, one team so far, at least projection and prediction-wise, is on their way to that prediction, but I don't know about that. I don't know about that for the Green Bay Packers. Of course, looking at the dev-ups, none on offense, and then defensively, Armstead is back to, a good overall, but how old is he now? 29? Yeah, I don't, yeah, it's good, I suppose, but it's, I don't think, going to change a whole lot, to be honest, but hopefully we can make a way to get these 6 third-round compensation draft picks, which are all, pretty much fourth-round picks, start of the fourth, realistically. I actually did give Jimmy Garoppolo a 1 year 11.5. Now, hear me out. I get it. In Madden, it's probably a stupid contract to do, but in the realism sense, I don't know if San Fran could be feeling comfortable letting him go, knowing that if they do anything this season, it was once again saved by the great Jimmy G. Where would they be right now without Jimmy Garoppolo? There would be zero chance. But now, who knows? Who knows? Maybe. Who knows? 11.5 mil is not the worst price to pay for an insurance policy on a quarterback that's been injury-prone himself, technically, and a team in general that just doesn't seem to have a whole lot of luck. Tom Brady is a free agent, a guy that we've heard recently talking about he doesn't plan on retiring anytime soon. Please change your mind. And as far as the other free agents go, I think we're probably going to be avoiding them because there just isn't going to be someone worth our money or someone we even need in general. So we ended up signing Chris Barnes to a 3-year, $11 million deal. I don't know why. I just feel like he's going to be a San Francisco 49er. I think they can get something out of him. He has potential. Once again, another injury-prone player that they're going to be taking a risk on and hoping for the best as just kind of like a support linebacker. He's not supposed to be like the next Fred Warner. Just someone there for when we have to also replace Dre Greenlaw. And at the worst, Chris Barnes as a backup for a 3-year 11 isn't the worst money in the world. All right, so I did what I could. We have a bunch of draft picks. We have some fourth-round picks that are like pick 10. We have this third-round pick that is like middle of the third. It all evens out, in my opinion. So it is what it is. And we're going to move slowly because we have a couple of players that maybe we decide to trade up for, as I could use a new pass rusher. I don't know if I believe in Drake Jackson, but I do believe in Derek Hall. This guy looks pretty good. Wouldn't be terrible either, as Kinlaw is a 25-year-old with under 80 block shed and pass rush ability while needing a contract. We have Caillou Blue Kelly, who could be decent with that B-man. Oh, wow, the clock is going here with that B-man and C-zone. It could have been C-man. Wow. And I really want Scott. So, long story short, I want Scott and I want Derek Hall. Everyone else, it would suck to lose, but I'm cool with everyone else if we had to lose them. Those are the two I want. Damn, Patterson already went? I want to get Scott and move him to guard because he's decently athletic, so we're going to be trading up with the Patriots. I don't want to do too much trading up, but we're going to trade up with the Patriots for now. But these are the picks we have. So 78, 90, 91, 103, 110, and then 122. As you can see, these two picks are way past where they should be. So it makes up for 78 being a lot earlier than it should be, We give up 142 this year to move up those 7 spots. I think that's kind of fair, right? That 5th round would have been like a mid-5th, which is, high 3rd is still high 3rd, right? So I think that's a fair trade. And with that pick, like we said, I think we're going to go Derek Hall. I want him the most, but as far as like losing players go, yeah, we could probably afford to lose Robert Scott as well. We have a bunch of linemen here. Yeah, screw it. Yeah, we're going to go Derek Hall. He looks too good not to grab. So Derek Hall is going to be our choice. Welcome to the squad, buddy. And he is hidden. A lot of the players in this class, this is Bengals draft class, by the way, which he recently updated like literally yesterday, if you're watching this on Friday, which I imagine you are. So this is pretty up to date. This is Bengals class. But a lot of the guys are usually like normal after like the second, third round. But he was not, which is pretty sick. And Chandler just went. I was thinking in my head, I'm going to trade up the moment Chandler is gone because I need a guard, and Chandler would have been one of the guys as well. I think we're going to trade up one more time and then live with whatever is remaining afterwards. I think. So we trade 90 and 122 for 76 from the Steelers, which we will end up using on one of the linemen. I actually want to take a look at Nelson real quick. His projection's a little bit lower than normal, so his dev may have been lost. And in general, I don't know if I've actually ever drafted Robert Scott, so I don't know if he ever had dev. But let's take a quick look at Robert Scott, 21 years old, decently athletic to play guard. And I like what I see. I'm not even going to worry about Zion Nelson. Normal development trade for Robert Scott Jr., but once again, 21 years old. It's a win. It's still a win. And I still need at least one more lineman. Is there anyone like that's kind of like on the smaller side? Because I kind of need a center. And I really don't think either of the remaining guys are like center worthy, right? So we trade 110 and Kinlaw to the Rams for 160, which is a next year pick, and 77 this year, plus that linebacker just to keep their cap at, positive to move up. So with this pick, we're going to be taking Wooden. I just don't believe in Kinlaw at this point. 25, the development is like, it's not gone, but Madden terms, it's just not worth it. And Wooden is 4 years younger, so we're going to be going with Wooden, who is still normal development rate, but lots of potential. And I moved down just because I was like, the guys remaining, we don't absolutely need. This is a tough choice because we could use a coverage linebacker in the very, very near future. Nick Hampton looks decent, but I feel like in a non-user class, I can get a player like Hampton pretty easily, whereas Kyle Blue Kelly, I don't know if he's going to be decent for us, but a B-man, a C-zone, and he's pretty athletic. We still need corner. We lost a bunch of our depth, so I'm going to grab Kyle Blue Kelly, who's hidden. That is massive, actually. That is huge. He's going to be our new number 2, I think. We'll see what Thomas is looking like. I don't know how big he is. I imagine he's kind of on the bigger side, though. And this is our last, 3rd to 4th round pick outside of, a draft pick in general until the 6th or 7th round. We could use a safety for the future. We could use a wide receiver for the near future. Wicks looks pretty good, actually. He's decently fast. He's got an A release, A spec. Kind of see Christian McCaffrey, though, as their, slot wide receiver anyways. Nick Hampton is probably a guy that would play more. I think Wicks is going to be the better player, but I just don't think we need him, whereas Nick Hampton we might need. How young is Ransom, actually? Let's go Ransom. Screw it. We're going to go Ransom. Normal development trade. We've developed him before, but he could be the replacement for Jimmy Ward, and we need the depth anyways, so that's what we're going to go with, and we already solved our kicker-punter situation in free agency, so these picks could just be more depth once again at positions that are injury-prone, maybe even a quarterback perhaps. Roshan Johnson, 91 speed, 89 excel, very big. I was just kind of going through the motions. I ended up grabbing a random backup tight end who was like 4.66 40. He's okay, and then I took Michael Barrett, who is apparently a hidden development trade, 85 speed, 91 acceleration linebacker. Change direction sucks, but okay. Sneaky, sneaky. All right, draft recap. A bunch of third-round players who are actually not bad of overalls. Linebackers is 63 overall. The tight end is 68, believe it or not. The running back, what was his trucking? Because obviously he's a bigger guy, I would imagine. He is good trucking. Not really, but his receiving ability is pretty good, actually. So that's... it's an interesting player. Yeah, let's take a look at the cornerback. Actually, we should have waited anyways because Thomas needs to be looked at, but there's some potential here. This is not a bad draft class considering, traded away a lot of capital for a guy like Trey Lance, who we haven't even really seen much of yet, but hopefully will this season. Also with Christian McCaffrey, who was traded for a lot of value as well. Did not get that extra lineman we needed, a center. There really wasn't a player with that kind of build anyways, so going to be putting Robert Scott at left guard and maybe trading for some center. There's teams like maybe the Eagles who are still using Kelsey. Maybe Cam Jurgens is available. I don't know, but there's always options at center. All right, the roster for year 2, where we finally get to actually use Trey Lance, is as follows. It wouldn't let me actually put McCaffrey as the number 3 running back or wide receiver as a running back, so he's just the number 1 slot wide receiver at the moment. The offensive line, it's young, but as far as its development goes, I don't know. We may have to replace literally everyone, technically, down the line here, but we're not going to worry about that right now, as the receivers look great, quarterback has potential, and the defense has also got plenty of potential. You got young corners. Ward's like 27, but he's like an 85 overall. It'd be nice to get a breakout, and then maybe like an end-of-season award. Ward, I would love to see him get, an award. Lol, dude. But, we paid him a 2-year 21, which, of course, by his overall right now, seems to be worth it. Well, that's pretty OP. We got a quarterback, like, how's your quarterback doing? Trey Lance has received a +4 medium and deep throwing accuracy bonus, which is busted. And Derek Hall's a superstar already. That's pretty sweet. All right, what kind of money are we looking at? Wait. 10, wait. Huh? Wait. How do we only have 10 mil? There's got to be someone we can get rid of. There has to be. Did the future Niners, just not think of that? What's the story? Ward's making a ton. Well, I mean, we can't get rid of him. He's literally our best player. Even if you got rid of Jimmy, you still can't afford Nick Bosa. Are we just going to, tag Bosa at the end of the season, I guess? And, is that the plan here? Because I'm not seeing where the money's coming from elsewise. So we're going to lose Ayuk and Nick Bosa. Pretty much. That is unfortunate. Come on, Hufanga, please. It's unlikely to make the playoffs, but we could sneak in. And we do! At 9-8! There's no way! There's literally no way we just snuck in at 9-8, dude. How? How is that even possible? We were like, win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. And we won right at the end, but we lost a lot at the end. It was like 3 losses out of 5 games, I think. That is insane. Almost as insane as Geno leading the league in passing yards. Trey Lance, 3,600 yards, 33 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, of course. Lots of running, success across the board from tons of different players. McCaffrey, what were his numbers? Not really used in the receiving game too much. I mean, at what point do we change to, the Saints or someone else's playbook, even the Panthers, ironically enough, to actually throw the ball to him more? Because right now, that's just not happening, so I think that is exactly what we're going to do, is change to one of those playbooks where they actually throw to the running back in question. Eric Armstead putting up another really good season, where Bosa kind of falls off. Wooden, better than Kinlaw, looking pretty good there, and Ward may have gotten a dev up. Tom Brady the Eagle, that just looks strange. Award wins, we had nothing for Offensive or Defensive Rookie of the Year, and in general, just no award wins, but a playoff berth. We are 3 overalls higher than the Packers, and the only place where you're going to see the Packers win against the Niners in the playoffs. I literally did a Packers rebuild a day ago, pretty much, and Rodgers retired right out the gate for me. Yet, of course, here, when it benefits, it hurts us, obviously Rodgers sticks around. Obviously, right? We changed to the Saints playbook. Enough of Carolina, right? Enough of that. Let's forget about it. That's the past now. 14-7, 14-all. Sorry, Panthers fans. You're like, thanks for saying that. 21-14. The Packers are up now by 10. And in the fourth quarter, Green Bay's going to pour it on even more, leaving us in defeat of a 31-21 season. Obviously, this team still has a lot of young, really good players, assuming we can keep Nick Bosa. I feel like Ayuk is already gone. He's basically a free agent at this point. But, yeah, keeping those guys around tells me that we still have time, but I don't understand, unless the numbers are wrong here or the projected salary cap is way higher than the game projects. I don't understand how they're going to keep the players they're keeping. I know McGlinchey is kind of a question mark if they're going to keep him, and then in real life they probably just let Jimmy Garoppolo go and hope for the best that Trey Lance stays healthy, but overall, I just don't understand how we can't afford him here, or afford them here, when we're literally letting Jimmy Garoppolo go. And of course, as you would expect, the Giants and the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl, with the Chiefs winning. In fairness, at least they legitimately won, as you would expect. Let's take a look at the dev-ups. We have about 30 mil, so we could probably tag Bosa, but man, we're going to be broke after that. Everyone on offense is the same dev as expected, and then defensively, We have a couple of dev-ups, actually. Armstead is now a Superstar X Factor, which is pretty sick. We also have, what's his name? Charvarius Ward, who is now a Star Development Trade player at 28, which is, I mean, pretty clutch still. He's a very good player. And then Hufanga is now a Star Development Trade player, which is pretty sick, as, he went up in dev. Oh, and Jimmy Ward went up in dev, even. Maybe they're projected to lose him as well. I don't know. I didn't even show the dev up. Boom. I don't know. Maybe they're going to lose Jimmy Ward as well, and the guys we signed cost us. I don't know. But Jimmy Ward, the 82 overall superstar, still good enough to play, even though I kind of wish he didn't because we need the money desperately now. Is there anyone? So we can get rid of Armstead, even though he has been very, very good for us. No matter what, we cannot lose Nick Bosa, right? So, no matter what, we're going to be keeping him. Dre Greenlaw, I mean, I'm not saying he's as good as Roquan, but kind of giving me, mini Roquan vibes. Probably worth, a third-round pick. Maybe you trade him off, try to re-sign Ayuk in free agency, perhaps, but let's just get to that and see, how bad of a situation we're in first. So $28 million, I have no idea what Nick Bosa is asking for. It's got to be at least 25. He wants about 30, huh? Okay. I'm sure we can make that work, right? Do you want to, just do a 120? Ugh, what's the tag? 25 mil only? I mean, that's not going to make him happy, but if we do, give him the notion, which we do want to, that we are going to, sign him long-term, I feel like he'll play on that, right? Of course, we cannot afford Ayuk, but at the same time, his interest would have made this a 4-year 70, so it might have been a situation where we couldn't keep him anyways, even though I would love to, because he actually looks really solid. We're back to just a Debo situation, Debo and Kittle. However, you do now have McCaffrey. Do we make McCaffrey the full-time wide receiver now? I'm just saying. The problem is he's only an 84 overall actually at wide receiver, so that's just a mad L to do. But I think, honestly, we're probably just going to save our money because we're going to need to sign Trey Lance at some point soon-ish, assuming that's the route we want to go, which I imagine it is. Danny Gray, I don't know if he fits as a true number 2. He's also a little bit on the older side start for us. I think we just draft wide receiver high and take the rest in offensive lineman picks because we don't really need much more outside of that anyways. So I think that's just going to be the route we go. Look for a new wide receiver 1 in the first round if we can get it, and that's kind of it. I don't think we have money to spend in free agency. I'd like to keep Dre Greenlaw for now, and then let some other linebacker replace him when we can't afford him, even if we wanted to. And let's take a look at how much Ayuk is getting in free agency. No one's offering him. He's getting a 57 over 4, which is, was it 3? I don't even remember, but it was a very expensive contract. I could not be bothered with that. So we're going into the draft, assuming that Kittle, Debo, and Christian McCaffrey are good enough to carry the load, which, they definitely should be. So we have a 5th-year option. Obviously, Trey Lance is a guy we want to give that 5th-year option to, but I'm not sure how this works since we're kind of, broke, and that 5th-year option's got to be, nearly 20, 30 million, so I would assume we're just, negative $1 billion at this point, but that's a future us problem, not a right now us. So we're not going to worry about it. So as with pretty much every rebuild I do where the first draft doesn't include a first-round pick, I end up forgetting the next draft, and I kind of scout past that round. So this this draft pick will end up being a trade down since I really don't have anything for this round. Looking to keep it all in this draft year, though, if we can, so that would be preferable. The Eagles kind of give me something I would like to have here, so I will actually take that. Moving down 5 spots to gain a 3rd-round pick, while it may be late, is still a win for us. The best trade appears to be the Bears giving us 36, 68, and 164 for this pick, and I will be willing to move that down for, I don't even know, is it 9 picks, 10 picks, something like that? Let's see what they grab. I always like to pay attention. And a center. They traded up for a center. Okay. And then we move back another 9 spots to gain a late 4th from the Jaguars. Not that we really need all these draft picks, but all the guys I have are players I'm willing to lose if I had to, but overall feel comfortable with still landing somebody decent here. So there's a wide receiver that looks kind of like Ayuk, and if he's there, I suppose I will take him. If he's not, I'll cry myself to sleep, and he's still there. So that's who we're going to take at 13. Like I said, a guy that looks very similar to Ayuk, ironically enough, and a guy we're going to be taking with that pick, Adrian Benjamin, A little raw, I will admit. D release, C raw, deep, C catching, B catching traffic, but he's 21 and he's fast enough with some decent skills in the back. A B route, a B medium catch. I'm really just kind of going for him for the speed. He's a little raw, but once again he's 21. I'm just hoping for a decent player, and we do land a hidden development trait player. 93 speed, 94 excel, 96 change of direction. Could you imagine if he was like a superstar as an X Factor? It'd be quite insane. I don't imagine, but it'd still be pretty cool. Every other wide receiver was kind of trash, gonna be honest. And it sucks that this tackle is here because he looks decent, but I don't really feel comfortable grabbing a 6'7" guard, as we really just need interior right now. And then you have another really good guy, John Williamson, who has a B block shed, A tackle. He's huge and strong, and he has a top 5 talent grade, but I don't have a use for him. You know, we were a 4-3 defense. I don't have a use for a gigantic nose tackle. But I am curious to see how good he is, so when the draft is over, we'll head over and take a look. It's going to be sucky if he's, like, really solid, but there's a chance he could just be, like, a normal dev guy that they're rating too highly. All right, so we ended up trading out of the first pick in the 3rd round. I ended up trading just straight up because some of the trades we've gotten are a little too lucrative, in my opinion, for real life, so I just decided, yeah, maybe let's not do that. A lot of bad run-blocking linemen, and John Williamson's still there, which I don't know if that's a good or a bad sign. But with this selection, I think DJ Brown looks really solid. He's probably our new center, especially if he's hidden development trade. A little worried about the run block stuff, but it's always that way, especially later in the draft. So DJ Brown, and he is hidden. He will be 100% our new center, as he's literally built for it. And then with this pick, I think I'm going to take a chance on Alfonso Holtz. He's definitely a guy that, you know, we're looking for a little bit more than the other guy. Finesse could be a B, but it probably isn't going to be. But A block shed, he's very much more athletic than Williamson. Alfonso Holtz is the choice, 3 to 4 projection. Normal dev. There was definitely that risk of that, but, you know, he's kind of a guy that we're probably going to be looking to replace Eric Armstead with, like, down the line here, which could be even next season. I say down the line as if it's not, like, could potentially be like a next season thing. And with this pick, I'm actually going to go with the linebacker Judge. I need 2 more linemen, which we're probably going to be grabbing Chavez, you know, start of the 4th or something like that if he's there because he's a day 3, and then we'll take whoever of these 2 is remaining. And I could use a linebacker for Greenlaw when he, you know, is gone next season, I believe it is. 22-year-old Judge is super athletic, and he has a B zone. Could be raw, may even be normal, but I can deal with whatever happens. And we do not have to deal with too much, as he is hidden development trade, landing kind of a nice draft right now. He is such a strange guard. I'm actually going to go with Ruben because he's also younger in general. So Ruben's going to be the guy we go with here at 20. And normal development trade. Oh, well, that could be a wasted pick. I don't know what the other guy is like, but that could absolutely be a wasted pick. Wait, do we have a guy named Kelly on our list? Did I miss him? I don't know. I thought that guy name like looks familiar. Maybe I'm thinking of Caillou Blue Kelly or something like that, but just looks familiar. And even though I don't really like that guard that much because he has those 2 Fs, he does have a lot of other good ratings. And I was about to say, so in theory, if Chavez is there, like shortly after Jowers, I might take him. But honestly, because I know you pay players less each round and we're really tight on cash, thank you, he's still there. I'm going to trade up to start the 4th instead of going late 3rd. We ended up trading that 7th round pick to move up, what was it, like 12 spots? It's not crazy, but it's a this year pick, and it was a pretty high 7th, so kind of like a late 6th instead. And with that, we're going to be taking Chavez. We do not have a lot left in general, so Chavez is going to be our guy. A bit raw, going to be honest with you, but he was the best remaining lineman. He might even be a guy that's like actually like round 6 or round 7 because it's a day 3, but taking the risk on him, and of course, this is the guy that's hidden. I honestly, if he's a really low overall, though, he still might not start over the other guys. He might not. We're going to go with a quarterback, Byron Gore, who looks okay. Just as like a depth quarterback. We don't have Jimmy Garoppolo anymore, and obviously Purdy's not that great. He's pretty bad. Did I have to say it? No. Did I, in the end, say it? Abso-freaking-lutely did. We're going to get ourselves kind of a Kyle Juszczyk, like not clone, but, you know, similar to him in Kirk Malone, decently fast. You know, obviously, you're not going to get Kyle Juszczyk forever. You're not going to keep him forever, so grabbing a, I wouldn't say replacement for him in the 6th, but an option. And then we go with a kicker who I may have mistaken. I thought it said he had elite kick power. Maybe he had elite strength. I don't know what the hell he had elite, but definitely not kick power. 93 is like great, whereas elite is like always 96 plus, I'm pretty sure. But even after the 5th-year option of our quarterback, Trey Lance, we still ended up with keeping a little bit of money. Of course, looking at the overalls, pretty bad stuff here, but some decent players and some that are hidden. Adrian Benjamin, like I said, look at those catching traits. Kind of the replacement Ayuk looks very similar to him, ironically enough. So he's the new number 2 automatically, and we probably could have gotten away without him. Nope. We said, imagine if he was good as Super. He's not. We could have gotten away with not having him, but it's nice to have him. So I'm glad to see it. And O-line, we'll have to decide. I don't know what any of these guys' devs are. I'm just going to go out and assume that they're all like just normal star development trait, whether they are or not, and just look at the best rating. You just see me out of nowhere using that center. It's like, I think he's pretty good, even though his overall is obviously really low. It's like, somebody checked out that he's superstar, but I highly doubt it. Let's take a look at what his dev is. Just so if we end up taking him and using him for some reason, just so you know. There, boom, easy. Oh, and here's the DT. I did see during the draft that the Patriots took him. He is normal, but he is a 76 overall. That's a big boy. That is their new Vince Wilfork. 41 bench press reps, only 94 strength, though. That's a little surprising. We ended up trading, I probably should have showed it, but Aaron Banks for Terrell Edmonds from the Steelers. That was the offer they gave us, and I don't know if he's going to be our long-term option, but we need a replacement for Jimmy Ward most likely next season. So as of right now, I'll take him as depth anyways. We'll take it. Yeah, they gave me this tight end. He's literally 64 speed. I don't think so. All right, the team. Trey Lance is now 24 years old, now having a full actual season under his belt as a 76 overall. We're going to have to pay him quite the money here. It's going to be fun. Deebo Samuel's great. McCaffrey's great. George Kittle's great. Trent Williams is great. And we have a lot of other potential, which I like to see. Obviously, on the defensive side of things, a lot of potential here. We have a replacement for Greenlaw already lined up. Same with Jimmy Ward. So when it comes down to re-signing, which we're going to have to re-sign like Nick Bosa and probably Trey Lance here, we should actually have enough money for these guys. All right, 88 mil. We did suggest that we were probably going to have more money this season in the re-signing process. We also do have a lot of names to get. Obviously, Nick Bosa is a little more mad that, what is it, Niners historic, Super Bowl chase, underdogs. I mean, we're not doing that badly. We're doing okay. But that original deal, if he's down, I mean, I'm willing to do it. A 4-year, 127. You literally wanted the 4-year, but sure, I guess. Ward has obviously been pretty good for us. A 1-year, 13. Please take it. Thank you. The red interest bar just pisses me off. Armstead's making more than that this season, and he's already, played really well. In previous years, I don't know about this season, though. Yeah, he's off to a worse year than normal. I think we're going to let Armstead go. Hufanga, obviously, we're going to keep. A 5-year, 32 sounds pretty good to me, and that's what he's willing to take. 40 mil still left. Elijah Mitchell, I mean, he's injury-prone. If he's willing to take, a 4-year, 18, I'm kind of down, and he is down. So there we go. We have insurance policies left and right. Ambry Thomas, that's a question mark. That is someone I had to take a look at how good he is. The money's fine, but how good is he? He could even play safety. His man coverage sucks right now for us. A 5-year 21. If he's willing to do a 5-year 27, he's happy to sign. Obviously, we had to offer him a little bit more because he was red interest, but if we can get Nick Bosa, we're looking pretty good. 31 mil with pretty much every, maybe we'll probably have to draft a DT kind of high, but every other position already kind of accounted for. Another season where it's a close call, but it ends up being a playoff berth where we still don't win the division, but 9-8, the Rams at 7-10, the Cardinals at 5-12, and the Seahawks at 9-8. Sorry for giving you guys seizures. Let's see what the numbers are looking like. Trey Lance did not need the contract yet because of that 5th-year option, but a 4,200-yard, 32 touchdowns, 6 interception season where Christian McCaffrey had a lot of yards on the ground. Mitchell was okay. McCaffrey was pretty good in the receiving game. Kittle had a lot of touchdowns. Danny Gray had no touchdowns, Benjamin had all the touchdowns but no yards, and then Devo had a lot of yards and catches but no touchdowns. I mean, you kind of run the offense through a guy you put a lot of money into, but at the same time, we're kind of underutilizing some of the other guys. We might have to go to like a traditional like offense soon. Derek Hall with 12 sacks and Nick Bosa at 12.5. Wooden has been great for years now, or back-to-back years anyways. Give him a dev up, dude. Matt Gay, 10 for 12, might get the contract after all. Gillikin, kind of iffy actually. Andy was blocked. Imagine getting blocked on a punt. Like that's a mad L. As far as MVP goes, Jimmy Garoppolo on the Chargers, of course. Of course. I was thinking maybe we would have had a chance just because lack of interceptions thrown is still a pretty big thing for the awards, but we did not win it. Any other awards? Quarterback, he had to be on there. Yeah, number 4, that's not bad. Number 4 for running back on McCaffrey, surprised he wasn't higher. Wide receiver, not on the list. O-line at number 4 for Scott, not bad. D-line, Nick Bosa at 2, and Hall and Wooden at 9 and 10. Very rare that we get 3 guys on the D-line list, which is pretty impressive. Fred Warner at 5, DB not on the list, kicker at 3. The game hates us despite us having a really high overall, but 4 overall is higher than the Eagles. Let's see. I also imagine the Eagles have some sort of different quarterback because I seen Jalen Hurts on the trade block after year 1. We'll have to see after the fact, but 7-all at halftime. Yes, it will be. Defense is trying its best, but offense is doing nothing. 14-14. The offense should be the one that's succeeding, right? Because they have so much talent and so much money spent on them, and we will go to over. What? What was the situation? We'll have to wait because, oh wait, no, that's overtime, actually. We might be able to see it. It was like 2 minutes left, and we gave up 10 points. So there's 1:14 left. Oh, yeah, I'm sure they recovered an onside kick. EA, please, dude. Oh, my. Do I want to even come in? We're probably going to cost the team. They're running the ball here. What the hell? Or they're likely running the ball, at least. Oh, crap, I'm on Hall. And like I said, likely, because they didn't actually. And dropped by a superstar Goddard with apparently, I believe, Greenlaw all over him. Come on, offense. Do something. Do something. Oh, my Lord. Wait, penalty? That's a penalty on us. And a throwaway. It's so behind. What a punt, though. Punts of the gods. Huge play. A penalty on the offense. They're still probably going to convert, though. They do not. Shorter field than they had to deal with. Running the ball pretty well. A field goal wins it. And I think we hit it. We did. Heading to the divisional round in the most wildest of ways. Jalen Hurts actually is their quarterback. I mean, I seen him on the trade block. It was a little questionable, but Trey Lance, not a bad game. Christian McCaffrey, not a great game, but he had a lot of carries, so not terrible. But John Robinson, he was okay. A lot of yards per carry lackage, but a lot of attempts, so you would assume a lot of short yardage situation where you're just scrapping for those first downs and whatnot. Benjamin has been a huge L as a rookie for us, but it's early in his career. We're hoping for the best down the line. No picks, bunch of sacks, and yeah, it was a scrappy little game that both teams played pretty cleanly on, and we just barely won in overtime. George Kittle with a rare upgrade, and I mean, it's not terrible. Route running's insane. His catching is actually kind of mid, to be honest, but still good player. All right, to the divisional round. Green Bay knocked us out last season, but once again, I still would like to believe in our chances going up against a Green Bay team who also probably doesn't have Rodgers anymore. 6 overall is higher than them. Please. Come on, it's even a nighttime game. It's like almost impossible for us to lose this. It's like the laws of the NFL. Come on. They wrote their wrongs last season. We had a nice little run there, and then we turned it into nothing. Defense made a stop, though. Up by 4. Now up by 7. Up by 14. Up by 21. Looking really good here, actually. Still running the Saints offense. I did change the scheme to vertical zone run. Don't know how much that changed, because obviously we still had a 9-8 season, and those stats are pretty similar. But making it to the championship round, I mean, almost kind of speaks otherwise, in a way. Trubisky. Oh, please. Don't let it be Trubisky. I'd rather have literally just any. I mean, bring Ben Kurt back. I don't even care, bro. I really don't. Just anyone but Trubisky. It's not even that he's bad, but it would just be too freaking ironic, and there would just be too many memes being made. I don't think we deserve that. The Falcons, bro, not the Falcons, dude. They literally win every single game, dude. They beat the Buccaneers. I know they don't have Tom Brady anymore. Who do they even have at quarterback? Probably like Jordan Love. Really? He's actually pretty good in the game. Then who do they beat? Only by 4 against Seattle, in fairness, but Colts, Titans on the other side. This is like whoever wins this game is almost guaranteed the win, dude. Please give it to us. Please. 91 overall to their 87. Rashawn Gary's there, of course, and Simmons. Nice. All right, going to the end of the game. Come on. San Fran with a nice touchdown drive out the gate. We get the stop. We score down the field for a touchdown. They get 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns in a matter of seconds. 4 touchdowns unanswered. That Falcons playbook's insane. Of course, we just had 2 unanswered, but the Falcons are still, let's slow sim this. This is going to benefit them, though. We do get the stop on 3rd and 9, which is insane. We're running the ball a little bit too much. Like, I get it. But at the same time, do I? 9 yards gain to the rookie. What's the situation? I thought it was like a fumble or something. What's the sitch? What's the sitch? We ran out of time? Wait, what? Bro, don't tell me we ran out of time. EA's got to stop, bro. Wow, 9 seconds. So if we had 41 seconds left and we ran 2 times in a row and got nothing. I mean, do I really want to cheese it? Hopefully we don't need to, but I kind of need to cheese it. Like a field goal attempt that's like not a chip shot, but probably a chip shot. Did they win on that play? Bro, it was a chip shot. I'm sorry, I'm force winning. I tried to just do another sim and win it legitly, and we were about to lose by 40. So, I mean, can I just set up a field goal? I should have actually just done that in the first way. I should just go. I don't even remember what the field goal range was, though. I don't care. I'm just going to force it. I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to do it. I don't care. I just don't. I really don't care. We were about to kick a chip shot field goal with Matt Gay, who has missed 2 kicks out of like 15 plus on the season. I just don't care. We're going to the Super Bowl. I don't know if we're going to win or not, but I'm not losing to the Falcons, who have a busted playbook in the game, because we had 41 seconds and decided to run the game out with 2 tries left. Actually, was it even a chip shot? I don't even know. We might have just accidentally cheated. It was kind of a chip shot. Either way, we shouldn't have been running the ball, and we were moving the ball pretty successfully. So the fact that we were running the ball kind of tells me that we were trying to set up the field goal, but the game's poorly coded, so they didn't care. Trey Lance does not get the dev up. Oh yeah, Scott didn't actually win the award. He was close, though. Wooden does go to star. And Ward, even though he's going to be let go after the season, goes to X Factor, which is a bit surprising. But X Factor Ward could lead us to a Super Bowl, maybe. But surely we don't lose to the Colts. Well, actually, to be fair, they are an 88 overall. Let's do our Super Bowl Media Day thing first. Get us any morale boost we might be able to get, if any. Let's call it just the beginning, because we are a young team. You have earned 10 staff points. Thank you. I'm sure those will come into play. All right, so their quarterback is 87 overall, Cameron Ward, I just learned. Defense made a stop. We got a touchdown. They got a huge touchdown. We got a touchdown back. They get a touchdown back. And at halftime, we will be up by 7, actually. I was about to say tied, but up by 7, now up by 14, up by 21. And the Colts are not going to come back, and we're going to win the Super Bowl 45-31 with the Saints playbook, because once again, I don't want to talk about that other team that traded away that one guy, but I wanted to use the one guy, and he is now a Super Bowl champion. You could not ask for much more from, Christian McCaffrey and the Niners. We also did have a pretty bad season that first year. Well, I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great, so I guess the draft picks were okay of a return. I think Panthers fans and the front office is still thinking it's a good chance that the Niners don't really have a season this year, but we'll see. Obviously, that would be a pretty big L if McCaffrey carries them hard to a playoff berth, hurting their draft picks. But at the end of the day, I can kind of see the Panthers are in that rebuild type of mode. It's just so weird because you looked at that talent, on Madden, and you're just like, really? Do they really need a rebuild? I guess the quarterback situation's not great, but I don't know. And I feel like McCaffrey's stock surely isn't that great right now, right? Maybe they're just worried that he's going to come back and get injured or something. I don't know. But long story short, the decision appears to be a good one, as Christian McCaffrey, especially in the Super Bowl, has had his best game and was carrying the hell out of this offense. I mean, Debo kind of seemed like an afterthought in this game plan. I mean, speaking of, he only had 2 catches for 58 yards. It was a touchdown, in fairness, but overall, McCaffrey, I mean, he just took over, simply put. Obviously, we did, kind of force it with that playbook or that scheme, but I looked at the Panthers after McCaffrey was gone, and the numbers weren't that great. I'll put it that way, so it is what it is. Nick Bosa had a pick, actually. Oh, my God, this guy. That's your MVP of the Super Bowl. I don't care what anyone says. A pick, a sack. Come on, what else could you ask for from this dude? Did he have a touchdown or anything? No? That's kind of crazy. And both kickers, of course, missed a freaking field goal. Oh, what an L. But a real question is, how the hell did the Colts get here? The Colts beating the Bills by 14. I mean, I suppose they do have a really good quarterback now. Beating the Chiefs by 7, beating the Titans by 3. I mean, some really close games. Even that last one is, not super great. So it's kind of insane that we were able to win that. And I was kind of thinking of doing longer term, but we are kind of on the broker side. We are kind of resetting at a couple of pretty key positions. So I'm just going to call it there. We've done we've seen the Niners. We've seen Trey Lance quite a bit. So I'm not too worried about it. We were just trying to see, was it a good decision or a bad decision with McCaffrey? Kind of taking a look at, would Trent Williams still be around here? And I think 2 to 3 years from now, you should still see Trent Williams around, right? Like, what would it be, 37, 38 at best? I mean, I think he should still be around here. Maybe not a 98 overall, but still should be around here. Debo, let's take a look at his overall. Actually, he's like a 98 overall now with very good route running. He's just a god. He's really good. Christian McCaffrey, I suppose we'll look at because he was a pretty high overall to start. Might have got some of that power moving. Yeah, he didn't really, but 83 catching, 83 short route. He's really beastly, but once again, can he stay healthy? Will he stay healthy? The Niners, who have know their fair share of running back injuries, are betting on him doing so. Passing ratings, not great, but good enough, as you could tell, because he won the Super Bowl. What else do we have? Kittle, we already looked at recently enough. Benjamin, he's just getting going. He's kind of newer. Release never really got going, but his short route is great. Medium's okay. Deep is iffy. Catching traffic, solid. Regular catches, definitely not the best. Offensive line, not really much to see. I guess we'll take a look at Scott because he was like a real-life draft pick. Pretty good across the board. Kind of fits more of a tackle look, though, which is ironically enough how we drafted him. Would probably actually slide over to left tackle once Trent Williams retires. Defensively, Fred Warner, the 99 overall. What's that coverage looking like? 87 zone coverage. Where the hell is man? 78 man. I'm just not able to see things today. Pretty damn good player, obviously. Defensively, Hufanga, I don't think his zone coverage ever got going. I think he was more of like a run support guy, but 80 zone with 88 play rec, 89 hit power, 87 pursuit, pretty good awareness and all that. Still developing, though. Young, has star dev. What can you ask for? Armstead is great in this rebuild. He was really good, but once again, because of his real-life play, has regressed quite a bit in the game. Nick Bosa was great throughout this one, too. He had like a down year that was still really good, and obviously his ratings are insane. Maybe lacking a little bit in the athleticism, but what can you do? Charvarius Ward, a guy that obviously is kind of surprising in real life and really good in-game with that 91 speed, 91 man coverage is really solid. Let's take a look at Caillou Blue Kelly real quick. Look at Derek Hall, and then maybe just call it there. 88 man coverage, another really good man coverage guy, whereas I believe Ambry Thomas is like all zone all the time with his man coverage, 72 man, 82 zone. We have actually upgraded that quite a bit. He started like 68 this season, 69, and we've gotten it to 72. Of course, it's all AI upgrading. I don't have time to upgrade the AIs. Wooden, 82 block shed, 77 power move. Some players just have it. I don't know what it is, but like he has been good throughout this thing. He had like an 8 sack, an 8.5, and a 9 or a 9.5, something like that. What the hell am I doing? I think subconsciously my brain was like, let's just show him. Let's just show him what his season was like. I'm going to go back in again. Having to click right bumper after every time is so annoying. Oh, he's only played 2 seasons. Never mind. 8.5 and then 9, which is, I mean, that's some wiener growth, I suppose. And then Derek Hall, he's actually been pretty good too. 84 overall, 94 finesse already. Decently athletic. I'm glad that we decided to replace Drake Jackson early because obviously it paid off. That's all I can really say about that. Edmonds being here, he's star dev. It's pretty cool, I guess. 81 overall. Kind of like Hufanga quite a bit, actually. And he would probably be the replacement for Jimmy Ward. So a lot of, we had downgrades, but we did have, future replacements kind of ready. So might have seen a little bit of a drop-off, probably, but still had a chance to at least make the playoffs and do some damage. But a 9-8 wild card team that may have literally been the last team. Does it show the playoffs? Here's the bracket. Let's see. Were we the last place? 6 seed, so close to last, but 6 seed all the way to Super Bowl champion. What else could you ask for? If you guys enjoy this one, this kind of surprising rebuild, as I had no plans on doing a rebuild today, I was planning on doing it on Saturday. of some different team. I don't know. It's going to be like a challenge rebuild. Maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, really appreciate your continued support. Maybe follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel PKR Plays, which don't think there's going to be upload for that channel tonight, but Sunday, maybe early in the morning, because I'm not going to have any uploads on Sunday because of football on the second channel PKR Plays. 2 uploads tomorrow. I planned on uploading the face of the franchise playoffs, ironically, against the Niners as the Packers today, but of course this Christian McCaffrey trade came in, which was pretty big, actually. Didn't make a video on it because it's kind of, it's boring to kind of talk about-ish. It's more, it's not crazy fun, but doing the rebuilds, I like to do that a little bit more. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you guys come back for next video, but until next video, see ya!